The DMV Hoops Podcast.
This is Jonathan Scribner, head girls basketball coach at St. John's College High School, and this is the DMV Hoops Podcast.
Welcome to the DMV Hoops Podcast. I am Kurt Cross, and we are here at DMV Live, myself, and of course, Mr. Adam Crain. We bring you the coaches, we bring you the interviews, we bring you the players. Right now, we're going to bring to you, well, let me tell you, first you can hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all your podcast platforms, and of course, on social media. You can reach us at DMV Hoops Podcast. Right now, we'd like to bring a gentleman to our microphone, to the table, to a podcast from Georgetown Prep. We have head coach, Mr. Howard Blue. Coach Blue, thank you for being here, sir.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Coach, before we start, I just want to say one thing to you, and I want to see what happens after I say that one thing. Steve Turner.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
I had him up here on Friday.
Say no more.
You're a Gonzaga guy, right?
Yes, sir.
You coached with him, is that correct?
2 years.
And one of the things, if you can come a little bit closer to the mic, sir, one of the things, I've known Coach Turner for 40 years. We went to junior high school together and all of that. And one of the things he spoke about on the podcast I had with him on Friday was you and all the others who have gone on to do something. And he said he doesn't really call it, he's got some sort of crowd and all you guys are like under him. He just wants to lift everybody up. So what was that like in terms of your maturation as a coach, and how did it get you to here?
It was, he actually reached out to me. It was my senior year of college. I was about to come home, and he had just found out that he was going to be the head coach. And he reached out to me and told me he wanted me to join this staff. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was going to go play some ball, and ended up deciding to try to make a little bit more money than those offers that were coming in. And Steve, he opened the doors to me and gave me a lot of responsibility right away. I learned a lot from him. We had a challenging season, and that second season, he got it going and didn't look back since. And even when I stepped away to go try to do something important at Washington Jesuit Academy, like, he always kept the doors open. He always called and checked on me. He always came by games and invited us over to practice and things like that. So he, even though I left the sidelines with him, he always stayed connected and kept helping me out and helping me grow.
Coach, what years were you coaching with Coach Turner at Gonzaga?
2004 and 5.
2004 and 5, okay. 2014 was struggling, and 2005 team got going?
It started to get going. He got some young guys in. I think I might be off by a year, but I think that might have been Tyler Thornton's freshman year.
Okay.
And from there, I think you know the rest of the story.
Is Tyler over at Howard now?
I think he just went down to Duke a couple weeks ago.
Sorry, Duke. Yeah. I don't know what I'm thinking about. He's down Duke. Coach, you're over at Georgetown Prep. You have a storied program, whether it be football, whether it be lacrosse, whether it be hockey, whether it be basketball, over there. It's your program, of course. I see Coach Gray sitting right here, and Coach Gray is one of our friends. What does it mean to you to be over at Prep, and what are you building over there? What is it? It's your program, obviously, but what is the DNA of Georgetown Prep basketball?
It's a great community. I first learned about Georgetown Prep when I started working with Coach Turner over 20 years ago. I think Dwayne Bryant was at the helm then. And he had some players there, and it was an exciting time. So me being there now, I just want to make sure that we put a good product on the floor, and competing in the DMV is special. If you can compete here, and if you can make it to the top of the mountain in Washington, D.C. area, you're amongst the best in the country. So being at Georgetown Prep, where we have a phenomenal lacrosse program, a phenomenal baseball program, a football team that wins year in, year out, I feel like it's a special task to try to take this basketball team to match what the other teams are doing there, and especially in this area when it comes to the sport of basketball.
Coach, we're watching McNamara against Oak Hill right now. We got a nice game. I'm looking at on the court. I'm seeing 5 or 6 guys that did not play for Oak Hill or McNamara last year, and they're transfers, newcomers into the program. You guys lost a lot of your top dogs last year at Prep. I know you still got some two bigs. See those big. But what's it like coaching with people are trying to the transfer portal? What's that been like?
It's tough because when you have any talent, you always got to be worried that someone's going to come try to poach them away. But making sure you build strong relationships with the kids and their families is priority one. But you never know who you're playing against. Like every year, the teams are going to reload. It's the same in our league. They're not going to reload with freshmen anymore. It's what's happening at the college level is trickling down to the high school level. And I still like the old school approach of building the program and getting the DNA into your players and starting freshman, sophomore year on. But you have to be ready to add an infusion of talent to your roster if it's the right fit.
So, Coach, you just talked about you like the old school way of building the DNA, coaching a team that stays there freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year, continuity in a program. What's lost in today's game with all these transfer portal and everybody being poached? What's lost? What are some of the negatives?
I think that's a loaded question. I think you get I think we've made youth sports and very transactional. Kids come in, and if they don't like what happened year one, they give up and move on somewhere else. And it's not an opportunity to assume responsibility, accept responsibility and accountability, and grow through changes and grow through difficult moments. And I think that hurts young men and women in the long run, because things aren't going to be easy when you get to be an adult, and you're not going to always be able to just switch spots and try to find an easier path or a path that fits you exactly the way you want. But it's a lot. There's some positives to it too. Obviously, giving kids opportunities to find the success that they want. But I just think that there's a lot that you can gain from having to persevere through a tough time and develop and grow. That's a part of the maturation that like a lot of young men and women, especially in the game of basketball, just aren't getting the same as they used to.
Coach, you mentioned something about the families, and you want to get the DNA and blah blah blah. And I know I'm not going down the wrong path here because I know this family personally, but are you ever going to run out of Wahids on your roster?
I don't see another one.
I don't see another one either. It's the last.
That's a good family, and I like the way that the two brothers were spread out. Jaleel got to learn a lot from his brother last year, and I think his brother being in college now is going to be a good opportunity for Jaleel to learn some things from him as well. I know today we had a tough game, but Akbar grabbed his little brother and said something in his ear at halftime. I don't know what he said, but Akbar's a great kid, so I know he said something good to him. Well,
Jaleel, he's a wonderful young man. We had him on our podcast last week, I think, during the live period. Of course, I've known his family for 20 years, and it's great to see them come through. It's great to see them stay committed, and play for Coach Gray over there.
100%. Well, who's your rival? What's it looking like this for this winter?
Whoa. You know my son goes to Landon. Why would you ask that question?
I always ask the inappropriate question.
Okay,
Mr. Cross.
So, Mr. Coach Gray, who is the rival?
We got Landon, obviously. That's the big school rival. We got the school on Falls Road has been a thorn in our side the last couple of years, but our league is getting better. I've watched everybody play this weekend. The IC is going to be tough, top to bottom next year.
Yes.
I didn't expect that, but there's been some infusion of talent in the league.
Right?
Yeah. Why is the league getting better? What's going on?
There's great coaches in the IC. Like it doesn't matter what the roster looks like. When you step in the IC matchup, the coach is going to have something dialed up that's going to give you a hard time. It's not an easy night schematically ever in our league, which I think prepares us or gives us a lot to get prepared for in the off season, and why doing stuff like the DMV Live is extremely important for us to get ready for the season that we have ahead.
Well, Coach, it's not just it's the coaches too now. Yeah, y'all some great dudes over there, right? And I think there are programs out there, and there are conferences out there. Of course, the WCAC, the ISC, the MAC, all these conferences. And I think one of the fortunate things, although I'm not a transfer portal guy, Coach Steve Turner told me 5 years ago, the college transfer portal is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And it is, because a lot of these kids out here who 5 to 7 years ago get a look might not get a look, because if I'm at the University of Tennessee, I'm going into the portal first. Because I'm worried about my job, too.
Yeah.
I'm worried about getting wins now.
Yeah.
But,
That's right.
I think there are opportunities for young men and young women to play more immediately if that's what they want. And unfortunately, sometimes their families have eyes that are bigger than the talent. But if you go to a prep, you're not going to a prep to just play for the Little Sisters of the Poor. You don't have to play in the WCAC anymore to get those looks. Yeah. And there's great competition. We called some games for y'all last year. We called games for St. Andrews. We called games for St. John's. And the games at St. Andrews are just as exciting as the games at St. John's.
Yeah.
And I've seen you at St. John's a bunch, because y'all play. Look, every B-Hand Classic, Mayhem on Military, you find yourselves in that competition. That's another reason why I think the IAC and the other conferences are growing in popularity, because you don't run from it.
Yeah.
If there's a WCAC challenge, let's go.
Yeah.
I want to play DeMatha. I want to play St. John's. Is your thought? Because I knew you on paper way before I knew you, because I've called some of those games.
Coach, let me ask you this. Kurt just mentioned, at college, there's pressure to win now. If you don't win, you're out. And not you personally, but is that a feeling amongst high school coaches? The big time programs that you got to win.
I don't know the answer to that, but I do think there's some pressure to win. Your alumni care about what's happening at the school. The current student body, the families, like everyone wants to be a part of a winner. Everyone wants to be a part of success, and that success can look different. It might not be winning championships. It could be sending kids to college. It could be making sure kids are enjoying the game and staying a part of it as long as possible. If that's Division I, Division II, Division III. But I think people want to be a part of a successful program, and if they're seeing reasons why that program is not being successful, I do think that puts pressure on people. But it doesn't always. I don't think it always goes with wins and losses.
If you haven't been to Georgetown Prep, you got to get over there. It is a campus to die for. They've got resident housing there. They've got a tennis bubble, which I don't see anymore because it's summer, so I think they take it down. That football field is something. I think the dorms overlook the football field. Yeah. And that gym is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. That gym is absolutely ridiculous. Coach, here's the thing. I've tried to sell it right now here, but come November, why should people come over to me it's Rockville. It's not North Bethesda, but to me it's Rockville. Why should they come to North Bethesda and watch the DNA of prep basketball? What are they going to see?
They're going to see an up-tempo game. We got good athletes. We're going to have one of the best bigs in the country playing with us next during the fall. We got some exciting guards that'll play with them, and I think we play a brand of basketball that's just hard to compete against, and it's going to be tough matchups night in, night out. We don't play a lot of home games, non-conference, because we try to play in as many of the big events as we can to get the top matchups. But when we are at home, if it's an IAC matchup or if it's one of the foundations that we're part of, the Brown 11 Foundation that we work with, it'll be a top-notch game.
Coach, did you know he's an alum of Gonzaga?
I was just
did I mess up your question? I'm sorry. Rewind. Go for it, Adam.
Can I? Jeez, man. I don't know why I'm your driver and your bodyguard. You don't pay me enough either. Listen,
boy.
Coach, I was just about to go on there. You went to high school at Gonzaga. Where'd you play college ball?
I played at Colgate in upstate New York.
Colgate. I graduated from Colgate in 1989.
Oh, man, I didn't know that.
You played at Colgate?
Yes, sir.
You were after Foyle?
I was after Foyle a couple of years.
You graduated in 1979. Tell your real age.
I graduated Colgate in 1929. Damn it. Wait, so this man graduated from my college?
I did not know that.
Were you there for 4 years?
I was there for 4 years. I graduated in 2004.
No transfer portal for you, huh, man?
Nah, I did not.
Well, it's freezing up there.
It is. They brought Emmett Davis was my coach, and I visited twice. He brought me up in May one time, and then he brought me up in September. So I saw the best. Best times of the year.
Yeah, you saw the one weekend when it wasn't freezing. Well, that's interesting because Colgate, our alumni, Coach and my alumni, set the record in the 80s when I was there for the most Division I losses in history. 56 games in a row.
Wow.
1 AA. Jack Bruin was the coach. We lost 56 games in a row. So, Coach over here, you turned that around. Foyle turned it around.
I didn't even know that happened.
I mean, you're talking about the worst of Colgate. What about the best of Colgate?
Well, the best of Colgate, they won. They got to the final 7 years in a row.
Yeah.
Before this year,
Coach Langle's done a great job taking over that program.
How does he do? What's going on over there with Colgate? Why is Langle doing so well?
He's a good coach. He was at Penn for a lot of years. Had a great staff. His staff was amazing. He tapped into the transfer portal early on.
Okay.
Brought a couple studs in and just took the league over. But they lost to American this year. I watched that game
me
in
too.
the semis.
I was there. Yeah.
But it was just a great brand of basketball. And his guard, he always has a guard that can get some points on the board.
Yeah, for sure. That's for sure.
So a lot of kids should want to go play for him.
I think this is the first year that Langle didn't get to the final.
The final, no.
The Patriots.
American got him, but Dwayne's a great guy, and he coached the hell out of that team this year.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think there is or was a St. Andrews guy over there. Kid over there at American,
Colin
right?
Small.
Yes.
Coach, who's in your coaching family? Obviously, one of the legends, Steve Turner, and he's one of your guys. But who else? What other coaches in the DMV? Like when you want to talk hoops, beside your staff, who do you reach out to? Just give us some love. Give some names.
I still talk to Bill Whitaker, who was my assistant coach.
Bill Whitaker?
Yeah.
Who founded Washington Jesuit?
Yes, sir.
At Gonzaga with Dick Myers?
Yeah.
Bill Whitaker is the man.
We're dropping some names. Dick Myers there. Okay.
I know Bill real well.
Yeah.
What a great guy.
Yeah, I love Bill. That's my guy. I talk to him. Coach Myers still calls me a couple times a season just to check in. He watches a lot of our games. He always gives me some feedback and some stories. Before conference play, Bruce Kelly is a guy I talk to a lot.
Before conference play.
I do talk to Bruce and we talk hoops a lot. And he just got one of my good friends on his staff, Sean Tracy.
So you know Sean?
Yes. Sean and I coach our daughter's basketball team together the last 3 years.
So here's where we connect, you and me. I coached Sean at the Cone Park Boys and Girls Club when Sean was like 8 years old.
Really?
So I've known him that long. Yes.
Yeah.
I've known him that long. Yes, through Bullis, through college, through BCC, through daughters, through back to Bullis now, the whole 9 yards. That's my kid. I had him on the podcast last week, and I may have been emotional because that's my kid. I've known him since he was a kid.
Yeah, Sean's a great guy, man. I'm glad my daughter get to play for him. So it's awesome. It's awesome, and anytime he can't make it, I try to show up. But we do it together a lot. And so he's somebody I spend a lot of time with.
Between me and you, Adam, who do we not know? We're connected to everybody. You're connected to Whitaker?
Yeah, but you two guys know a lot more people than I know. I'm a Johnny come lately. Where's your daughter playing ball?
My daughter, he and our daughters are 10 years old. He started a program called Hoop Dreamers.
Okay.
Well, tell us about the program.
It's just right now. It's just a girls basketball team where we probably got about 15, 16 girls, and we split them up into 2 teams. And we don't do a lot of tournaments because we think it's better for them to practice more than they play. A lot of the girls play soccer together too.
That's a change.
Yeah.
Because a lot of AAU programs don't do that.
Yeah, we deal with the parents a little bit differently. Try to get them to understand that it's a long process. We want our kids to have a lot of fun. And learn the game the way we did, Like when we were kids, we played maybe 2 AAU tournaments the whole summer. The rest was league.
Because you were on the blacktop and you were playing pickup. These kids don't play pickup anymore.
So it's not like every Thursday night we have a meetup at a Silver Spring school where we tell the parents they can't come in the gates, then the kids just go play pickup.
That's it. That's what we're missing.
This is interesting. So it's called Hoop Dreams?
Hoop Dreamers, yeah.
Hoop Dreamers. Well, you mentioned 2 things. One, you get the girls Hoop Dreamers, and it's like an AAU team, but you like to practice more than play games. And why do you have them practice more than play games? What does that give them? Why are you doing that? One,
it's not putting pressure on them in terms of like winning at all costs, and even though most parents probably don't want to say they're doing that for their 10 and 11-year-old. But when you go to a tournament and there's 6 games going on, there's parents screaming and hollering. That's a pressure cooker of an environment. We want our girls to I want my daughter to come to me one day and say, I really want to get better at this game. And the only way I think that's going to happen is if she's having fun and enjoying it. And a part of that is them being in that environment where basketball is there, coaches are there, and they're getting better, but it's for them to have fun. Because if there was no games going on in here and we brought our daughters in here and didn't tell them what to do, they could be running around here playing tag instead of playing basketball.
Right.
So taking them somewhere to play 4 games in a weekend just seems crazy.
But there you go. And the second thing you mentioned was a lot of the girls on the team also play soccer.
Yeah.
So Kurt and I were podcasting at DMV Live Girls Weekend at Bullis a few weekends ago, and we had the girls we had on, some of the players of the game mentioned they also play another sport. Some girls played 3 sports.
Yeah.
And one of the things they all said was that when their friends who just play one sport, they get injured because they overuse the muscles and they get burned out.
Yeah.
Why? What's your feeling about that?
I mean, I don't want to push my kids into playing any particular sport, but I want them to find a thing that they feel passionate about and want to get better. And I don't want it to be basketball because that's my thing, although I would love it to share that with her. But I want her to be able to have fun. Right now, like the first sport that she enjoyed was soccer, and that's where she got to play for Coach Tracy the first time. And then when they started saying they wanted to play basketball, like we tried tennis for a little bit, didn't stick. Then they mentioned they want to try basketball, so we put basketball together, and now we're looking at almost 3 years soon.
Coach, we appreciate your time. We appreciate the fact that, my son plays in a JV league over there, so I get to see. And by the way, I want you to know, this is only like a week and a half old. I walked into the gym one time before everybody else. They weren't ready for somebody to start. And Howard Blue, he looked at me like he was going to hurt me. I'm like, oh, shit. I done came in this gym, and I wasn't supposed to be in there yet. And I was hoping the fact that I know Larry helped me out a little bit.
The guys must have did something wrong. That wasn't They must have did something wrong.
But no, we appreciate your hospitality over there at Prep. We appreciate working over there because Tyler and I work games over there. But more importantly, we appreciate what you do for the game. What I did not hear in this interview was I did not hear you make it all about basketball. We're trying to build young men. And obviously we want to build young men of character. If you're coming from the Gonzaga philosophy, we already know that's in place.
Yeah.
So thank you for doing that and building these young men. Your young men are very respectful when I'm over at that gym, and you got a beautiful facility. We're going to make sure we push people that way in terms of becoming Georgetown Prep fans. This is the DMV Hoops Podcast. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Coach Blue. And folks, we'll see you next time.
The DMV Hoops Podcast is hosted by Kurt Cross, featuring Adam Crain. Thanks for listening.